It began on a cold, gray morning when the streets seemed heavier than usual, as though the world itself was holding its breath. The small town was quiet, yet unsettled. Nothing in the air gave away what was about to unfold except for one creature, a German shepherd with eyes sharper than any detective's instincts. Officer Daniels was on routine patrol with his K9 partner, Rex, when suddenly, in front of an old suburban house with cracked steps and faded paint, the dog froze. His paws dug into the concrete as if refusing to move another inch. His ears twitched, his nose pressed low to the ground, and his eyes locked onto a jagged circle of broken pavement near the front porch. The officer tried to guide him forward, but Rex wouldn't budge. Instead, he began barking, a sound so fierce and insistent that it echoed through the neighborhood. Something was buried beneath that ground, something no one expected. Before we dive deeper into this heart-stopping story, if you believe in kindness, in the loyalty of animals, and in second chances, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, leave a comment, and subscribe to Pawsitive Tales. Your support helps us spread more true and powerful stories of courage and compassion. At first, Officer Daniels thought maybe Rex had picked up the scent of a stray animal. But as the barking grew more desperate, something in the officer's chest stirred. He had worked alongside Rex long enough to trust his instincts. Kneeling down, Daniels brushed away the scattered leaves and dirt around the broken ground. The edges of the concrete were cracked in a perfect circle, as though something had been pried open once before. His fingers trembled as he pressed against it, feeling the hollow echo beneath. Rex pawed harder, whining now, his sharp claws scraping the stone with urgency. The officer called for backup, unsure what they might discover. Within minutes, a small crowd had gathered. Neighbors peered out from windows, children clutched their mothers' hands, and whispers rippled through the air. Then, from inside the house, a little barefoot girl in a faded pink hoodie appeared, clutching a worn teddy bear. Her wide eyes flicked between the officer, the dog, and the ground. She looked terrified, yet strangely relieved. When Daniels asked her gently if she knew anything, her lips trembled, but she stayed silent, pressing her teddy bear tighter to her chest. And then, as though surrendering to a weight she had carried for too long, she pointed a small finger at the broken ground. Rex barked louder than ever. The truth was about to surface. The officers began breaking through the cracked concrete with tools, every strike of the hammer echoing like a heartbeat. Dust and fragments filled the air, and the crowd grew restless, unable to look away. Finally, with one heavy strike, the ground gave in, revealing a hollow chamber beneath the porch. The stench that escaped was old, heavy, and suffocating. Gasps filled the air. Even Daniels hesitated before shining his flashlight into the darkness. What the beam revealed was enough to silence the street in an instant. Inside the hidden chamber lay old belongings, torn blankets, rusted chains, and scribbled drawings taped against the walls, childlike sketches of a girl with long hair standing beside a dog. It wasn't just a hiding place. It was a prison. The barefoot girl sobbed, burying her face into Officer Daniels' chest as Rex pressed his body close to her protectively. The dog seemed to know this chamber had once held her captive, or maybe someone like her, in unspeakable fear. Neighbors were horrified, none had suspected such darkness could exist beneath a normal-looking home in their quiet town. As investigators arrived, more chilling truths came to light. Years ago, a young child had gone missing from the very same street. The case had gone cold. Now, evidence connected directly to that child was found inside the underground room. Rex hadn't just stopped at broken ground, he had stopped at the buried scars of an old tragedy. Days turned into weeks as the investigation unfolded. The little girl, who had been found wandering near the home only hours before Rex's discovery, finally began to speak. With the patient comfort of Officer Daniels and the unwavering gentleness of Rex, she revealed pieces of her story. She wasn't the missing child from years ago, but she had stumbled upon the old house, drawn by something she couldn't explain. It was Rex who sensed the hidden darkness, and in doing so, uncovered both a crime and a chance for healing. The girl had been carrying the weight of secrets and fear, but the dog's presence unlocked her silence. Slowly, she began to smile again, leaning against Rex as though he was the only being who truly understood her pain. Officer Daniels watched this transformation with awe. He knew dogs had loyalty and intelligence, but this was something deeper. It was as if Rex could smell not just sense, but brokenness itself. The child, once voiceless, began speaking with confidence, her laughter echoing in the police station hallways whenever Rex was near. The townspeople, once shocked, now looked at the police dog with reverence, calling him a guardian angel in fur. The old case files reopened, families of the lost finally had hope for answers, and the little girl who had wandered barefoot into their lives was no longer alone. Months later, under a bright morning sun, the town gathered in the square to honor Rex. The mayor spoke of courage, resilience, and the unbreakable bond between humans and animals. But the loudest cheer came when the little girl, now wearing new shoes and a radiant smile, stood on stage and wrapped her arms around Rex's neck. The dog licked her cheek, and for a moment, every broken piece of the story seemed to mend. If this story touched your heart, please show your love by liking this video, leaving a heartfelt comment, sharing it with friends, and subscribing to Pawsitive Tales. Your engagement helps us keep bringing you powerful stories of hope, healing, and loyalty that the world needs to hear. Special request: comment below with the words "Hope always wins" if you believe that even in the darkest places, light can still be found.